is God's will, it doesn't need effort. God will tell me who to marry. Men always pursue attraction doesn't matter. I need to be perfect before I'll be able to. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Pastor Albert, and I am delighted as always to have you join me on this channel. If today is your first time, I would entreat you to subscribe and press the bell notification icon to be notified on subsequent videos. I also have my social media displayed at the bottom of the screen. Do well to get in touch. Let's engage further. Over here, I do content about family life, Christian living, singles, and marriage relationships. Let's dive into this video. Today's video, we're going to discuss 5 myths that are ruining Christian relationships. The first of this myth is that people assume that if it is God's will, it doesn't need effort. I want to break your bubble. You need effort in building any successful, any meaningful relationship. You would need to engage with people. You need to dialogue with people. You need to make friends. You need to interact with the opposite sex. But the fact that God has given you a promise to have a beautiful relationship, a beautiful life, doesn't mean you need to lay back. Marriage involves work. Loving somebody involves work. Yes, you can trust God, but you need to put in the effort, trusting that He will guide you through discernment, through building active relationships and communicating meaningfully with people. The book of James chapter 2 verse 17 says that faith without works is dead. So if you want to build a good relationship, you need to put in the effort. You need to put in the work. You need to put in the time. Invest in yourself. Invest in becoming a better person. Invest in interacting with people. And that will guarantee your meaningful relationship. The second myth, God will tell me who to marry, so I don't need to date. Yes, God can give you clarity of purpose, clarity in terms of who will be the right person for you. But you need to date. Yes, dating in a Christian perspective, not dating in the sense of the worldview where people are fornicating about here and there, but dating in the sense that you need to get to interact with people, you need to get to know people, you need to open up yourself to know people of the opposite sex. And that doesn't come on a silver platter. That means you need to get to know people, you need to interact, you need to ask questions. You need to find out essential things, values, and things that people have. Because when God gives you a word, you need to take a step. You need to take an action. And that is one of the myths that is ruling people's relationships, and they are not exploring, they are not meeting people, they are not interacting, laying back that God will give them a burning bush encounter like it happened in Moses' time. That is stopping people from having meaningful relationships. So you can go to the Lord in prayer asking, is it Jason or is it Joseph? But you have to ask yourself, who is treating you with integrity? Who is having a right purpose of heart towards you? Yes, God will give you clarity, but you need to take the step. Myth number 3, men always pursue and women wait. Contrary to popular belief, there are certain instances where we find in biblical references women initiating relationships. Rebecca went to draw water. Ruth positioned herself in the fields of Boaz. So sometimes we need to reassess our situation and also make ourselves available if we want to have meaningful relationship. If you're a lady out there, you need to prepare yourself to meet your king. Just as Esther prepared herself to meet the king. You cannot be invisible. You can position yourself rightly without compromising on your values and the things that you stand for, which as a Christian means that you preserve yourself, means that you are walking with love, you are walking with kindness and not being desperate. So I would say that show interest, but not in a compromising way as a young lady. The fourth myth ruining a lot of Christian relationships is that attraction doesn't matter, only spiritual things matter. Bear in mind, you are not going to marry a Bible. You are marrying a human being. You are being in a relationship with a human being. So there is a need to have some form of attraction. So if you are not attracted to the person, what is drawing you close to the individual? So attraction is really key. Yes, you can't avoid spirituality. You can't avoid your Christian values and precepts. but you should still look at the one you're attracted to, the one you would want to be in company with, and you still pray towards that relationship, that God will guide you as you discern into being in a meaningful relationship. I'm not here to debunk that you don't need to pray, you don't need to fast, but while you fast, you would only be drawn to the person you are attracted to. The final myth is that I need to be perfect before I'll be able to love somebody. We are all work in progress. The goal of any relationship is for us to grow, is for us to develop, is for us to increase our capacity in our interaction with one another. So you can't be perfect before you end up in a relationship. You need to target a growth process. You need to target a position where your interaction will help you grow. That is why I always advise that if the relationship will draw you away from godly character, godly precepts, then it is a red flag. But we are all striving to become perfect one way or the other. So the goal of the relationship is more important, not your perfection before entering the relationship. So as I conclude, let's not stand behind spirituality, being holy, and then not end up in relationship that involves work, that involves us investigating each other, learning to grow, learning the rudiment of basic human interaction. When we carry on like that, we will end up feeling being late and then jump into the next relationship we find. We need to put in the work. Yes, we trust God, we ask for clarity, we ask for direction, but we need to discern, we need to interact, we need to ask good questions among the opposite sex. Have friendly relationships with the opposite sex, and eventually the Lord will lead you to the right one. What are some of the practical things that you have done in finding your true love? Leave a comment in the comment section. God bless you so much. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Turn on the post notification so you'll be notified on subsequent videos. You can also follow me on my socials in the description and also at the bottom of the screen, and let's interact further.